Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese. I'm the founder of Yes Supply, creator of the Yes Supply method, and I'm a master manifestation and abundance coach. And today I'm going to be sharing with you my tips on how to keep your vibration high. And I put a bunch of notes in my phone. I have a lot of tips. And actually today is the perfect day for me to be filming this video because it's one of those days that I actually really need these tips. I decided to do this topic, told my team that this is going to be the topic, and I was meant to film it today. And then yesterday was a little crazy. This morning was a little bit crazy, and I just wasn't feeling it. And it's in those moments when I realize I'm not feeling amazing that I actually start doing my own practices, because energy is everything. Everything that exists around you, the computer or the phone that you're watching this on, the people that you interact with, the things that you want to manifest, whatever it is, everything is energy. And so all energy is connected. We're all resonating with each other. And I know that if my vibration is low, I'm only going to attract into my life things that I don't want. So as soon as I'm not feeling good, I work to make sure that I feel good. I actually don't start my day unless I feel good. So every morning I go downstairs to my little corner on my couch and I journal, I meditate, I do gratitude, I listen to binaural beats, I do whatever it takes in order to help me feel good. And so because feeling good is pretty much like my full-time job and I'm always working on feeling good, I have a lot of things that I want to share with you for how I keep my vibration high. So I can't wait to share them with you. So my first tip on how I keep my vibration high is getting really quiet and meditating. I find, especially as a business owner, it's really, really easy to get overwhelmed if you're not somebody who is constantly working on your mindset. And there's so many things that happen in my life, whether it's somebody that I hired for a project, or maybe there's a customer service issue, or just staying out of comparison on social media, all those different things. There's so many times where I am so grateful that I have tools to work on my mindset, and I'm so grateful that I actually started working on my mindset, because if I was trying to do all the things that I do without working on my mindset, I'd be like a puddle on the floor. I wouldn't be able to do it, right? Managing a company, managing a team, bringing in a lot of income, supporting a lot of people. Of course, there's highlights and it's great and it's amazing, but it can also be tough. And so I always remind myself that I'm a coach. And so I always remind myself that I'm my own first client and I need to feel good in order to be able to help other people feel good as well. So first thing, every morning I go downstairs to my little corner on my couch. I always make a tea. Sometimes I make a hot lemon water. I had a little stint where I was making a lot of celery juice. I actually need to get back into that. But I grab a drink and I sit down and I get really, 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 really quiet. I like to start my day in a feeling of just being grounded in my body and feeling just neutral and relaxed. I feel like that's a good way to set the tone for the day, because then every single thing that I face, I can look at it not emotionally, right? If something goes wrong, I'm not oh my God, I'm not good enough. I can just look at it and I can, decide what needs to be done or decide how to go about it. But my energy is in the right place. So what I do is I just sit down, I cross my legs. I'll often actually do the little yoga hand thing. The reason why I actually like to get into a yoga pose, even if I'm not doing a full-on guided meditation, is because when you're crossing your legs or you're crossing anything on your body, what you're doing is you're helping both hemispheres of your brain communicate with each other better, work with each other better, and it helps to calm you down, helps you to get back into your parasympathetic nervous system, which allows your nervous system to be in a place of peace rather than the sympathetic nervous system, which is in a place of stress. So just by crossing your arms, crossing your legs, something like that, you're going to feel more relaxed. That's why if you're just sitting at home relaxing on your couch, if you look down, you'll notice that a lot of the time you actually have your legs crossed. It's normal for us when we're relaxing to cross our legs. So that's really, really important. Another reason why I also like to get into the yoga poses is because this is what I heard, the reason why we go into these different poses in yoga is because we're making our body like geometrical. And when we're in those geometric shapes, we actually resonate with the sacred geometry of the world. So when we're in these like geometric patterns, we're actually resonating better with the energy around us, which is really, really cool. So I like to get into those poses. And then what I do with my eyes closed, I get nice and relaxed. I take a deep breath in. I do this a lot on my live stream. So if you've ever, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at YesSupply, because I do live streams all the time and I do this exact same exercise with you. What I do is I close my eyes, get grounded, I take a nice deep breath in, and then I breathe out any anxiety, any fear, any scarcity, and I do that a few times. So I breathe in and breathe out any low vibration emotions. And just from taking those 3 deep breaths, I honestly always feel better. I think a big reason is because our bodies work in a psycho-cybernetic process. So if you're breathing really fast, you're essentially signaling to your brain, hey, we're stressed out, and then it sends signals to your body of stress. But who takes deep breath? Calm people take deep breaths. So the moment you take nice, big, deep breaths, you're signaling to your brain that you're calm, and your brain is going to release chemicals to your body that allow you to stay in that nice, calm state. So I love that. And then once I do my deep breaths in and out, I get nice and calm. Then what I do is I like to close my eyes. With my eyes closed, look up just right at the top of my head, and I like to see a light. So that's how I connect to source. I imagine that source energy going all the way up, 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 connecting me all the way to source, and then I feel it come right back down, and I feel my face start to glow, like my head start to glow. I feel that glowing energy go down through my neck, through my shoulders, through my torso, all the way down through my arms. And I know and trust that that loving energy is from God, love, source, universe. It's filling me up with healing. It's filling me up with love. It's filling me up with the ideas, the intentions, the intuition, whatever I need to support me in what I'm doing. I let that light go all the way down to my toes or to my feet. And then I imagine that light going right down to the center and the core of the earth, to signify that I'm supported, and then it shoots back up again, all the intelligence, all the support that I need to move forward feeling grounded. So that really, really, really helps put me in a great place. And I don't always do this, but when I have extra time, I actually imagine myself, my energy around me getting stronger and stronger, and my aura expanding and expanding and expanding through the city that I live in, and the province that I live in, and the country that I live in, because I know that energetically we are all connected as one. And I always set good intentions. I set a good intention that this nice, calm, relaxed, and loving and grateful state that I'm in is actually positively affecting every single person and thing that is now being touched with this energy that's resonating off my body. And it's really interesting to look into this. There's a lot of studies that were done that say that when people meditate with a single intention, that intention actually changes the external reality. So there was a study that someone named Dean Radin did, where he got some of the world's best meditation gurus to go to Washington, and they all meditated on peace in the city. And the crime rate dropped by 20% at that time, and it had never dropped that drastically before that, like for years and years and years before that. So there is power of your thoughts, there is power of your energy, so own it. So I like to do that body scan, right? It's good to do a body scan too, to see where are you feeling any dense energy, what emotions do you need to work on. So I'll do that light body scan, and if I feel like, ooh, I have a little anxiety or tension here, usually I find I have anxiety or tension, it's like kind of around here. So then I'll do whatever work I need to do. I'll do time techniques, which is something I teach in the YesSupply method. I'll do tapping. I'll do some anchoring. So I have a positive, like a little positive button to tap on to help me feel good during the day. So that's what I'll typically do. Another big one actually that helps me raise my vibration and feel good. I learned this from Danielle Laporte. A few years ago, I went to an event that one of my friends, Alyssa, who's the founder of this company called Easy, ran. And in her event, she played this beautiful meditation from Danielle Laporte. Danielle Laporte's a Canadian spiritual teacher. And you can probably still find it online. The meditation was called I Call All My Power Back to Me Now. And she explained that whenever you have a negative situation, so maybe you broke up with an ex or you fought with your boss or whatever that is, whenever you have a negative situation, you leave your power in that situation. And it's draining you. It's always draining you unless you call your power back. And so anytime that I feel drained, when I'm sitting there doing my morning ritual, I'll actually out loud say, I call all my power back to me now. And I ask that that power be cleansed, right? Because there was negative vibes. So I ask that it be cleansed and then return to me. And it instantly helps me feel better. All right, so that's a big part of my morning ritual, and I have a lot of steps on my morning ritual. Actually, let me know in the comments if you'd like for me to do a morning ritual video. I actually have a few ideas for morning ritual videos that I'm excited to share with you. Another big thing that I do to keep my vibration high is I be genuinely kind to people. I know that sounds obvious, but you would be shocked how many people do not understand the importance of this. And I think that it's a little thing that you probably will never see like a spiritual teacher or a guru or anything talk about, but it's so huge. It's not always about the huge like tactics and strategies and, you know, manifesting into your water and all these different types of things, writing your affirmations 55 times. I really do believe it's the little choices that you make every day in your life that contribute to a greater life, greater abundance, greater happiness, whatever it is. So like when I walk down the street, I smile at pretty much everyone. And I'm not forcing myself. I just feel like I'm like a happy person and I'm in a good place. And I genuinely wish I could help everyone. Like in my course, I wish the entire planet would sign up for my course. I wish I could run enough Facebook ads to get everyone to sign up for my course, but I'm not there yet. But what I can do, even if I can't physically, tangibly help every single person, is maybe I can contribute a little bit to everyone's day. And so when I walk down the street, I just smile. If I'm in the elevator with someone, I'm like, hey, like, have a good night, take care, whatever. When I get out of the elevator, like, it's not like I'm like a slave to everyone, but you know, I honestly believe that we're all connected. And if you can just do something small, like there's been times where I'm having a bad day and someone like smiles at me on the street and I don't know, I just feel better. Like I feel like, okay, at least someone like kind of cares. So you never know how just like smiling at someone or like, I have this like local coffee shop around the corner from me and I always go and like start conversations and learn about the people who work there. And like, why not? Why not just be a genuinely nice person? Especially too, if you want to, you know, bring it back to you, especially too knowing that everything you put out, you get back. So why wouldn't you put out as much positivity as you can? Another big thing that I do to help me raise my vibration is I send love to people who have what I want. So I've definitely dealt with jealousy. I've definitely dealt with comparison. It can be tricky when we're tied to our phones and on Instagram, everyone is like gallivanting on a yacht and, you know, living the life. But one of the things that I realized is that you will not get further by wishing negativity on people who have gotten further. So one of the things that helps me keep my vibration high is if I see somebody who has something that I want. So like before I got my car, if I saw someone with a G-Wagon or whatever it is, I would send love to that person. And I would, if I felt like I was judging them, I would forgive them. or I would forgive myself for judging, or I would forgive the situation. Because when you have those negative vibrations in your body, if you're sending negativity to someone else, it does not affect them, but it does 100% affect you. So the best thing that you can do is send love to people who have what you want, and you're teaching yourself, you're teaching your subconscious mind, and you're teaching the universe that you love people who have those things, and then you're more likely to become it. If you're sending hate, like someone has like a green Ferrari and you're like, oh, that rich person, like they have a green Ferrari, like who do they think they are? They're showing off. The moment you do that, you're telling your own mind, oh, we don't like people that have nice things. We don't like people who enjoy like, material things, or we don't like people who, I don't know, have money and spend their money on things. And because your subconscious mind will never make you a liar, and your subconscious mind will never make you what you dislike, you'll find that you actually resist money. So I saw this for myself, like when I've started different types of businesses in the past, and when I started this business, it's really, really easy if you don't have the right money beliefs to, if somebody wants to pay you for your services, say like, no, you don't need to pay me, it's fine, or like this one's free, or I'll give you a discount, right? Because subconsciously you wonder why you do that, right? You wonder, why did I work for this person for free? I totally should have got paid and they wanted to pay me. Or why did I give them such a huge discount? Like, what am I doing? The reason why you're doing that is because your subconscious mind is programmed to think that people who have money are bad, or that people hate people who have money. Or I used to have the belief that if I talked about money, people would hate me. And so if your subconscious mind believes that, you're going to act in a way that isn't helping you. So I send love to people who have what I want, and I found that to be very powerful. Also, too, I didn't write this one down in my phone, but I think a big one is just stop worrying about what people think, right? Most of the time, if you're worried about what people think, most people aren't actually thinking of you. They're too busy and too concerned thinking about themselves. So, if you're stopping yourself from doing what you really want to do because of what people might think, no one's probably thinking about that. No one's probably paying even attention to what you're doing. They're paying attention to their own lives. And anyone who does judge, they're not for you, right? Like if you want to start maybe a new program in your coaching business or something like that, and you're worried like, what will people think? Well, the people who don't like it won't buy it. And the people who do like it will buy it. And the people who don't like what you post will go find someone else to follow. And the people who do like what you post will follow you. But you can only post and put out and create what you want, because if you're putting out something that you don't like in order for people to like you, you're going to end up just not liking yourself and not liking your work. So it's a lot better to just choose you rather than choosing the opinions of some made-believe people, and most of the time too, if somebody's judging, they're judging because of their own jealousy, because of their own limitation. Most of the time if somebody's judging, like anytime I've ever had a negative comment on my Instagram or YouTube, no offense, but when I look at their Instagram or YouTube, it's nothing to call home about. Let me just say that. So most of the time the people who are going to judge you and be rude to you, they're not really doing too much for themselves. All right. Next, a huge thing, that's actually really huge in terms of energy, is cord cutting. So this was a valuable lesson I learned. I one time worked with a client where things just didn't work out, and we severed ties. But for months I felt like heartbroken. For months I felt like kind of sad, and I'm an empath. And so I just had a sense that the sadness that I was experiencing wasn't my sadness, if that makes sense. A big reason why we ended things was because the client was dealing with some psychological issues that were outside of my scope as a coach, essentially. Something better to work with a psychologist about, or something like that. So anyway, I felt so sad. And I'm an empath, so it's very easy for me to absorb the emotions of, people around me and situations around me. Like I can't watch, like I'm crying every time I watch a commercial. I'm crying every time I see the news. Like that's just who I am. I just very empathetic, very compassionate. And so anyway, for months after working with this client, I was like, why do I feel like this? I knew something was off with my energy. I knew I was a spiritual person, but I didn't really know where to look for information on spirituality. And I actually ended up finding an empath Facebook group. I wish I could remember which one it is. I do not remember what it is, but if you search empath Facebook groups, I'm sure you'll find 1,000 of them. And I was asking people, I was telling them my situation, and I just told them, like, I felt guided to ask in here. I don't know what's going on with me. And someone suggested I did cord cutting. And I was like, cord cutting, what is that? And so anytime you talk to someone, so like even if you work in a coffee shop and you're working with your clients there, or especially if you're a coach or a healer and you're working with people on a deep emotional level, every time you have an interaction with someone, you create an esoteric cord in between them, an energetic cord. And even if they're not physically in your room or in your space, they can be like miles and miles away, but that cord is energetic and they can be draining your energy. And so once I started to learn about cord cutting, once people started telling me about cord cutting, I was like, I think that this is what it is. I think that this client has a cord with me. And I searched on YouTube for cord cutting meditations. I actually had a course that had cord cutting meditations. And what I ended up doing was I tried a whole bunch of different cord cutting meditations until I found one that really worked for me. I actually kind of combined a few different cord cutting meditations and then I made my own. And actually, if you're watching this and you're somebody who's in my program, I put that cord cutting meditation in my energy course. So you can get it on my website for about $27, I believe, or if you're in my Yes Supply Method coaching certification, then it's included for you for free. But anyway, once I did that meditation, I felt alive again. I felt energized again. I let go of everything that was happening with that client. And the cool thing about cord cutting is that person's draining you because they think that you have something that they don't. And so when you cord cut, you're not just cutting them off, you're actually setting the intention that that person, whatever they think that they can get from you, they now can get from themselves. And it was very cool because the day after I did the cord cutting, I just happened to look at this particular past client's Facebook page, and she had posted nothing. And the day after I did the cord cutting, she was like posting all these promotions and stuff. So I think on an energetic level, she was still tied to me. And once I set her free energetically, she was able to move forward, and so was I. And I've shared this cord cutting meditation with students, and they tell me like they felt drained for months, and they did this cord cutting meditation and they started waking up at 6 a.m. So it's like really, really cool. Now, a huge thing as well is just working on my vibration, working on my energy, doing mindset coaching on myself. Like I said before, I'm a coach and I see myself as my own best client. So I use my own techniques that I teach from a Yes Supply Method certification. So time techniques works on your timeline to help you go back and release the root cause of any negative emotion. So anytime, if I know I want to feel good and raise my vibration, a huge part of that is also looking at what feels bad within me and releasing it and uprooting it. So I'll uproot and release the negative emotions that allows me to raise my vibration into the higher emotions. I'll also use EFT tapping. So if you feel any negativity in your body, a lot of it is also your energy is just not balanced. So you can actually tap on these energy meridians all over your body while you're thinking of the negative emotion or negative feeling or pain. And what you do is you balance the energy so you don't feel pain anymore. It's very, very powerful. You also, like sometimes when I felt pain in the past, I'll just talk to the pain like, hey, like the other day I accidentally burned my hand a little bit with some hot water. And I talked to it and I was like, hey, thank you for letting me know that I got some hot water on you. Thank you for doing your job. I release you. Thanks for like healing me up. And then the pain went away. So, and I put it under cold water and then the pain went away. So, yeah, doing time techniques, doing EFT, doing anchoring. So anchoring allows me to get into a high vibration. I essentially create a little button on my knuckle that creates a neurological association to a positive emotion. And then I can just tap on that little button and feel good all through my day. If you want to learn more about the techniques that I teach, I actually created a free 5-day training for you. It's called the Elevate Your Coaching Sessions Challenge, but it's perfect for you even if you're not a coach. So you can go through 5 days of learning about NLP, EFT, time techniques, energy work, it's hypnosis. It's really, really cool. So you can sign up at yessupply.co/elevate, and we'll put a link in the comments for you. So it's a 5-day free course just for you. Now, so if I need to feel into the emotion, I do the emotional work. I do journaling. I'll journal out the entire problem so I can look at it analytically and overcome it and realize that I'm bigger than my problems. I'll do the emotional techniques that I just shared with you. If I need to feel it. If I can tell that it's just like an off mood, but I don't need to feel it, I just need to like stop being a baby, then I'll just play some high vibe music, dance around my apartment. A huge thing that I like to do too if I'm feeling off is I like to clean. I feel like your outside world is a reflection of your inside world. So if everything around you is like messy and disorganized, you're not going to be able to feel good on the inside. So I'll just like put on some good music, like I said, and just tidy up and organize. I'll like organize a drawer or whatever. And I always feel better after organizing. I also love to listen to something called binaural beats or solfeggio sounds. So these are, remember again, we're energy, right? And so we're resonating with everything that's happening around us, right? There's all these different energies that are flowing through us, almost like an interference pattern. And so when you listen to a binaural beat or solfeggio sound, those sounds are affecting your energy and allowing you to start to resonate at that energy. So I like to listen to binaural beats, or I like to listen to solfeggio sounds that are tuned for abundance, to tune me into the frequency of abundance. And it's so cool because when you start to listen to the solfeggio sounds, you might actually start to see like unexpected money show up. I see it for me all the time. And if you go find some solfeggio sounds on YouTube and you read the comments, there's so many cool success stories of people who start listening to these sounds and then like get an unexpected check or money shows up out of the blue. Okay, I always play these types of music in my coaching and my hypnosis and then also in my live stream. So again, go ahead and follow me on Instagram so you can watch my live streams, and make sure you follow me here too if you're not already following, and subscribed on YouTube. Just click down below, hit the subscribe button, and then click the notification bell to get notified when I come out with new videos. Another huge thing, I'm almost done, I'm on my second last tip, is don't get caught up in negativity. You know, there's some people who they somehow get joy or they somehow get pleasure by bringing negativity to the party, and I'm just not about that life. So I typically just ignore the negativity. I don't let it affect me. I know that it has more to do with them than it has to do with me, and I don't let it get under my skin. I don't get caught up in gossip. A huge thing for me, I always say, is don't say something about someone that you wouldn't want on the front page of the newspaper. There's a saying, I think it's from the Bible, that says whatever happens in darkness will come to light. So just know that if you're gossiping about someone, first off, it's not really affecting them, but it is affecting you because you're allowing all that negativity to stir up in your body. Also, too, I really believe that if you say something negative about someone, even if they're not there, remember our energy is always connected. We create these energetic ties with people. So if you say something negative about someone who's not there, they're still going to feel it. They're going to be like, something's off about hanging out with this person. And it's going to affect your relationship. So I'd say if somebody in your life isn't serving you, you'd be in a much better place to forgive and release the situation entirely, rather than to keep the situation going on a fake level and then gossiping about that person, allowing that negativity into your heart and soul, and then also creating weird vibrations in between you and that person. So don't get caught up in negativity, gossip, and fights. Even if my husband and I get into an argument or we disagree about something, I always think about what's my outcome. One of the main facets of NLP is what's my outcome. And ever since we met, I always knew that I wanted to be with him, right? So rather than getting caught up in like who's right and like I want to win this fight and everything like that, I aim to, as quickly as we possibly can, or in the best way that we possibly can, to think about what is our outcome. Our outcome is we love each other. Our outcome is we want to be together. Our outcome is we want to grow old together, right? So I think about like, what is our outcome? And then I look at the fact that all we want to do is be loved. All we want to do is be understood. All we want to do is be heard. So, you know, when two people are fighting, they both think they're right. So in those situations, I ask, how can we both feel loved? How can we both feel heard? How can we both feel understood? And we're able to take the argument back down to a conversation where we seek to understand each other, and then it always works out for the best. And I think that that's a big reason why we've been able to have such a great relationship for such a long time, because it's not about like who wins the conversation or who's more right or anything like that. It's more about, are we loving each other? Are we hearing each other? Are we supporting each other? Even if we're getting under each other's skin or whatever it is, how can we solve this so we can move forward? I think that's a really good relationship tip. And my last tip to keep my vibration high is I live in faith. I always remember that the things that I want to achieve in my life, the things that I want to do, and the things that I want to have, I really want them because of a place of service, right? I want to grow my company, but I want to grow my company not just to go on a shopping spree or something like that. I want to grow my company because I really believe that the work that I do helps a lot of people. I've seen it help a lot of people, and I want to bring it to a place where I have more resources so that we can serve, so we can do a better job, so we can provide even better education, even better information than we have been able to do to this point, and even develop new things in our industry that help all different types of people. So because I know that my goal is in alignment with God's wishes for me, or the universe wishes for me, and because I know that the work that I want to do is going to contribute to the whole, I choose to live in faith that things are going to work out. I choose to live in faith that things are going to come together. And when you choose to live in faith, I think it really helps you get out of your head and stop worrying like, am I good enough? Or how can I win? Or blah, blah, blah. Like, it gets you out of the ego and it gets you into a place of service. And then when I create from a place of just wanting to create because it's fun and because I feel like I'm giving value, and not from a place of anxiety or stress or fear or scarcity. Because we live in an abundant world. There's always more than enough. It's like nature. There's always more to grow. It's just a matter of planting the seeds and watering them and nurturing them. So aim to live in faith, aim to live in love. Ask yourself, how can you do what you're doing from a place of love, and know that God and the universe has your back. And because you have a desire to be happy, because you have a desire to have a higher vibration, that is always available to you. It's just up to you to be open to receiving it and to look for it. So thanks so much, guys, for watching my video. It's a little bit of a long one. Again, I had a lot of tips. Let me know what your favorite tip is, or which one you're going to implement into your day. I think there's probably still more that I do to raise my vibration. But if I think of more, maybe I'll come back and pop them into the comments. So do that. But yeah, for me, I know that everything is energy. So I do really focus on making sure that I feel good. Life was not meant to be a struggle. We created our lives. We chose to be here because our life was meant to be good. We were meant to love. We were meant to be surrounded by incredible people. And if you're not experiencing what you want to experience right now, just ask yourself, what would you ask for if you knew the answer was going to be yes? How would you like it to look? And trust me, if you can see it in your mind, you have the ability to create it. It's waiting for you. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and make sure to subscribe if you want more from me.